You're not sitting on a fucking shelf waiting for a man to come and be like, oh, that's the one I want. And they're gonna like you and they're gonna take you off the shelf. No, motherfucker, it's your life too. Hi, and welcome to today's video. So today we're gonna talk about why people end up in toxic relationships. Why do smart, intelligent, successful, independent girls end up in toxic relationships? And I think I have compiled a little list. My camera's shaking. But a little list to why people actually end up in toxic relationships. I'm busy giggling and laughing, but it ain't something to laugh about. We all need to lock in and understand why this happens, okay? So you need to have strong ass fucking boundaries, a strong self-respect, and a strong sense of self, to where you can be like, I really like you. I have a lot of feelings, but my feelings do not determine how I move in life, you know? How I move about a relationship, how I communicate, all of this stuff. Like, the self-respect should be the highest. Strong ass fucking boundaries and a strong sense of self. In the beginning, the moment something is said to you and it makes you feel uneasy, but then the person gives you the smile or the trust me bro, you know? And there you are sitting believing that shit instead of trusting yourself. You need to trust yourself. You know better about you. The other person doesn't know you the same way you know yourself, you know? You might explore parts of yourself with this person, which is normal and it's natural in many relationships. But when you feel uneasy, you need to kind of like stop, understand, why am I feeling uneasy? What about this action made me feel uneasy? What about what this person said made me feel kind of off? But if you just give into it and be like, no, but I don't want to ruin a bad I don't want to ruin a beautiful moment by bringing up something that, you know, is not, you know, it's just something I'm feeling. Yeah, relationships are about feelings. So when feelings are being felt, you can maybe communicate these feelings to gain a better understanding of the dynamic all in all. It's very, very, very important for you if you're trying to not end up in toxic ass relationship where you kind of forget yourself and abandon yourself, all because what? You want a man. You want a man. Okay, next. Do not forget that when you are in a relationship or you're talking to somebody, they're not the only ones choosing. You are also choosing the person that you're getting in a relationship with, right? So yes, they came up to you, they talked to you, they wooed you, woohoo! They made you feel nice, they talked to you nice, they touching you nice, they kissing you nicely, and you're like, oh, I like this. I haven't felt like this in a long time. Yeah, that's cute. You need to assess the person, like, fully. Yes, they chose you because they feel like there are things about you that make sense for them in their life. That's great. You need to also figure out if they make sense for you. Are they respectful, as in your boundaries, the way you respect yourself? Are they meeting you there? Or are they just disregarding you and only tweaking things that only work best in their favor? If that's the case, walk away from that relationship because it's not worth it. And also, you're just dating the person. You're not married to them. And even if you're married to them, you can fucking divorce the person, like, genuinely. You're not. It's not like when you walk away from this person, your life ends. No, it doesn't end. Did your life exist before this person? Yes, it did. Will it exist after this person? Yes, it will. So why are you going to kill yourself? Why kill yourself over maintaining somebody in your life that is not fruitful for you? They don't bring anything. Instead of just it being stress, overthinking, a dick, you know, all of this, it's not worth it. You can always walk away. Do not forget, you are choosing the person too. You're also evaluating this person as you guys are getting to know each other, to try and see if you guys actually fit together, to be able to do this thing called life together, to be able to, you know, then pick each other to see, you know what, maybe I want you to be my long life partner, and I actually want to be with you, and this makes sense, and I want to build with you. If you want to have family, I want to have a family with you, you know, because you guys in relationships, you're fully intertwined. Your lives almost get intertwined, not because that's what you want to do, but that's what happens in relationships. You kind of merge. Your emotions are merged. So if you're feeling off, yeah, it's going to affect your work. It's going to affect how you're feeling. It's going to affect your relationships with with your family. It's going to affect your relationships with yourselves. And if you happen to have kids, yeah, it's going to affect how your relationships with your kids and the type of like environment that you're building for them, type of environment you're building around your family members, all of this stuff. So it is very important to evaluate this person. They're not the only ones choosing you. You are also choosing them based on the life that you want. Okay? You're not sitting on a fucking shelf waiting for a man to come and be like, oh, that's the one I want. And they're gonna like you and they're gonna take you off the shelf. No, motherfucker, it's your life too. You are also, it's like, it's two people in life. I was gonna say competing because I was thinking of the game Tekken, but you know, you understand why if you've seen Black Mirror. But back to focusing, you're both doing life together. Either you're doing it with them or without them. There's a certain way you see your life, all right? There's a certain way you value love, especially if you have like really worked on yourself and try to understand yourself and try to, you know, all of this stuff. And if you're not doing it, then maybe you should. Because if you do not have boundaries, you have no sense of self. Your only sense of self is given to you depending on the type of relationship that you have. Your boundaries keep getting tweaked because of the person you're in the relationship with. Maybe you need to get at that relationship and kind of figure out your boundaries. What actual boundaries do you have? And once you get in a relationship, those boundaries stay. They do not shift. They do not move because they're there for a reason. They're there to protect your inner emotions because the other person doesn't know you. You do not know each other. The only way you guys know each other is through communication, verbal communication. That is the only way they're going to know what's going on up here and what's going on in here. So if you keep that built up and puzzled up, all because you're trying to maintain some sort of fucking harmony in that relationship, you're only maintaining that harmony for him, not for yourself. And then you're going to start asking yourself, oh my God, how didn't I see this? Why didn't I see? Because you continued to ignore every single sign that was sent to you, all because you're trying to maintain harmony. Again, strong boundaries and a strong sense of self is very important for you to have when you're pursuing relationships. And when I say your standards shift, by the way, this is what I mean. You're with somebody. You know that you do not like, you're very aware that you do not like when people disrespect you, okay? You're not a big fan of that. This person disrespects you or they talk to you, and disrespect really can be many different ways. But in relationships, for me, when you're getting to know somebody and you do not know them and you're trying to build almost like a foundation for the relationship that you guys might possibly have, that is where if a person disrespects you, if they're doing it in the beginning when they're trying to get to know you and impress you and all of this stuff, and their way of impressing you is by disrespecting you, you can get the fuck out of that relationship. Because you sticking around trying to communicate, I felt disrespected, or I felt like this in this situation, and I really want to know how you felt. What are you doing? And why are you trying to tell somebody that what they're doing towards you is wrong when they themselves are aware of it, but they think you're just gonna, you know, let it slide because you want them? No, because then you're not being your full self in that relationship. You're being a miniature version of yourself, all again in the pursuit of a relationship, and we do not do that. We respect ourselves, we value ourselves, and that's how we move in relationships. Boundaries, boundaries, fucking boundaries. And this whole notion of like, I need to bear things through with my partner. They are some things that, yes, in relationships, yes, you do bear through. But if you're bearing through his bullshit, all because you're trying to maintain whatever the hell you're supposed to be maintaining, then all you're doing is suffering for the sake of you keeping that relationship or you keeping the image that's not giving you anything. Again, continuing this nasty ass process of toxic relationships. You will always end up in toxic relationships when you devalue your own emotions, devalue your own experiences, do not see yourself as the human being you are that should be loved, valued, respected, honored in relationships. And you feel like you have more clarity, you have more understanding. So you're going to be waiting for him to gain that clarity, gain that understanding, you know, meet you where you are. Or maybe he's there, but, you know, he still has a lot of things in his life that he's working on. And I have understanding for that, which is just like, Yeah, so do you. And so have you. But then here you are still babying a man, waiting for him to man up and actually do the things that are required in a relationship to actually maintain it. And then two, to keep it healthy. You cannot be the only one doing that. Everybody goes through things in life, and that is very true. Everybody has things that weigh them down. My God, life is life, and everyone has also went through certain things, and they're still going through certain things on a day-to-day basis. But when people are trying to get in relationships, so they're trying to find love and all of this stuff, most of the things they're looking for is genuinely peace in a relationship. So if they're not bringing you that fundamental thing, which is just peace, misunderstandings can happen, because at the end of the day, we are human beings. We can never get each other to 110%. But if it's not peace that they're giving you, then there is no point in trying to maintain it. And if you're maintaining, you're only maintaining it for them, for their pleasure. Because the little piece that you feel like you're getting out of it, somewhere there you've conditioned yourself to believe that's the only thing that you deserve. Or that's how relationships are supposed to be. But why are they supposed to be like that? Who told you they're supposed to be like that? When you are trying to bring peace, harmony, understanding in a relationship to some guy, you don't even know this person 110%. You are not in their life 24/7. You're in your own, going through your own shit. And then on top of that, you have to be going through whatever the fuck they're putting you through. For a relationship, you can be single and still be going through what you're going through, minus the bullshit that they're bringing you, and it'll be a much more peaceful life. But no, you want this person. You want to feel like someone cares about you, values you, yada, 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 wants a future with you. So for that, you're willing to sacrifice the little piece that you might be gaining from not being with this motherfucker. And then there you are. And just like that, it's a nasty circle, and it's going to become toxic. Self-neglect doesn't build anything. It doesn't build no good foundation. Not having boundaries towards a person and how they talk to you, how they treat you, how they are around you in the pursuit of a relationship, and also in the relationship, you become extremely vulnerable to narcissistic and manipulative as people, because they can see what you are doing towards yourself for the pursuit of a relationship. The relationship that they are giving you, which isn't even a relationship, honestly, to begin with. Somebody makes a joke to you in the getting to know each other phases, and they make a stupid ass joke unaware, and then you are laughing with them. What's funny? When inside you don't feel like it's funny, but here you are, because they're laughing. Are you a goat? We don't do that. You don't do that. Someone does something that's not really so good to you, and they come with you with, oh my God, excuse me. Instead of you addressing, actually, I didn't really feel good about this situation. This actually made me feel a type of way, and I really do not like this. You're like, no, it's okay. It's okay. You didn't really mean it. What the fuck do you mean you didn't really mean it? Address, no, that didn't make me feel good. That wasn't really respectful. And then see how they react. Because your emotions are valid for you to actually address. You're supposed to be able to address things like that. You're supposed to be talking about things that give you discomfort. It's important. That is how you build a good foundation in a relationship, to where it's actually healthy and it actually brings you peace. I'm very passionate about people finding good, healthy relationships for themselves, because that is how we built good environments for the kids around us and the people around us, to where their nervous system is regulated and it feels safe. So when it's unsafe, it's quickly recognized. You cannot tell me that you're going to be able to build that when you started your relationship, or you started whatever it is that you're planning on having, or whatever it is that you might have that maybe you need to get the fuck out of, when your nervous system was fucking dysregulated all the time by this person. That's not going to happen. Respect yourself and fucking value yourself for what you're trying to build. And you can only build it because you built it within yourself. And then It is built with two people who have built it within themselves, and it can easily flow out into whatever it is that you're trying to build. I was extremely heated in this video, but like I said, extremely passionate about people being happy and actually having peace and creating genuine peace within them and around them, because you deserve it. You didn't come to earth to suffer. You're not on this planet to suffer for the sake of love. Like, that is not it. You love yourself and you give yourself peace, which then creates love and peace in the relationship that you're building, because that's the only thing that you allow for yourself. Period. You're not a man's teacher to be teaching him certain things. You're not his mother. You're not his professor. You're not his doctor. You're not his engineer. You are a girl he is trying to get to know, trying to build a relationship with. The same way they are a stranger that you met and you're trying to build a relationship with them to where they're not a stranger anymore. But how are you gonna build a house on a fucking rocky road? It ain't gonna happen. I think I've said a lot of what I wanted to say. If I miss something, then, you find me on TikTok yapping about it, which is Ernie Neo, the same handle that I have here. So yeah, have a good one.